Hello peeps, Jordan is Great 505 here. I wanted to look at the details of Chica's party world that you may have not noticed. Because there's actually a lot of details that go over people's heads because, they're too busy trolling the animatronic AI. This was the loser of the vote I had in the last poll. Now, there are a lot of details to cover here. I did put a lot of effort into thinking about what date and time is going to go where, what's going to happen. I can't cover everything in this video, so I'm probably going to put, if there's anything I forget here, which there probably is, because I did put a lot of effort into this, I'll probably cover it in another video relating to the details, because I'm going to do one on challenge night as well, because I also put details into that. Let's start off with old Chica's slowly rebuilding herself over the span of the 4 nights. During nights, you can find notes or hints towards old Chica slowly rebuilding herself. On night 1, you'll notice the parts and service camera doesn't work, and if you try to go to the parts and service store, you'll see a note that says, hey, we don't actually, there's something wrong with Chica, we don't want her to get out, something along the lines of we should be more careful because last time we didn't care, something bad happened. On night 2, the next night, if you try to look at the parts and service camera, despite being told it only would work on Wednesday, it works, and you can see an endoskeleton, the old Chica head, and another parts of the parts and service room. Behind you in the closet, there's also a manual for sync transfer, as one of the features of the Chica's Party World animatronics during the merge was to sync over their data to the other new endoskeletons. Now, this can prove fatal when the animatronics do it themselves without need of human help. And this is exactly what old Chica does in the Night 2 minigame cutscene, where she will sync her data to the new endoskeleton, she takes control of it, and now that's her new body. In Night 3, you will see her on the camera, and she'll be breathing heavily, just like she did in the minigame. On Night 4, she finally breaks out. And there are notes talking about, okay, where the hell is Chica? I thought I told you guys that this would happen. Old Chica's AI herself is, it's all hinted through these notes too. With the fact that she can sync up to other electronics, you can imagine what she would do if she suddenly had control outside of the parts and service room. Being able to go to one of the door control boxes and, kind of hack it out so that you can't use your door controls, which can really screw you up during your night. It's a good build-up that most people won't notice because, you're focused on other things, but it's a good way to show people who paid attention to the details that was coming up. Now, I also should mention the old Chica here. She's actually the same Chica that gets jump-scared by the prototype, which is why she has those weird possessed eyes. It's because she, got possessed by the prototype when she got knocked down. And it's why she builds herself a new body. Now that we're on the topic of the animatronics themselves, I won't go into the lore bits of this, but I'll talk about the details hinting towards their ability. Each night you can find different notes hinting at an animatronic's ability. On night 1 you'll find JJ's, which hints at what she does.
What you gonna do? Hey! What you gonna do? Ah! The door won't close! Ah!
On night 2, you'll find Lolbits near the control box. Also, Lolbits' freaking cutout is near the control box, hinting at the fact that she can hack it. And it also pretty much hints at what she does. Now, about Lolbit in particular here, she actually has 2 different versions, as in the FNAF lore, there's kind of like, that Lolbit either has a hook or she doesn't. So, what I did here is I chose both options. On night 3, and only on night 3, she will have her hook, but that makes it so she can't hack your electronics. And there is a lore reason for this, and this is what the phone guy has to say about it.
She also is getting her hook removed tomorrow for a birthday party. One of the kids is terrified of the hook. A phobia of sharp objects. I bring this up because without her hook she has two hands which give her more of a way to hack your cameras. Keep an eye on that.
You can see she has a hook, and she'll even jump scare you with the hook too. And on night 4, and for the rest of the game, she doesn't have the hook anymore, and she also changes her AI up to go hack your box instead, and to go to your behind door, instead of just going to your front door 2 times. When she hacks your cameras and stuff, you have to put in 1001 to stop it, because she does it in frickin' custom night of the sister location, so I thought I'd do it here. Now, Wellbit isn't the only one to have a detail like this. Chica herself, because she sometimes actually will have her cupcake in her hand, and the thing about her cupcake is it actually mutes her voice lines, so you don't actually know when she does "I'm ready for my close-up," which when she does that, her eyes light up when she does that, because that's when she's ready for her close-up to kind of show when she's coming after you because of that. And if she doesn't have the cupcake, she'll actually have her voice lines playing. Which originally she didn't even have the cupcake at all, but I just added it later because I thought, okay, what can I do with this? Why should she have it? This is only stated in the phone calls that this is a thing. I didn't make any notes for it. Now, Showtime Freddy, on night 3, you can find a note that tells you what he does. He throws his animatronics into the vent. Other animatronics, like Ennard and some other animatronics I'm forgetting the names of, they can also go into your vents, but they don't really have animations for it. Showtime Freddy, on the other hand, does. And his animatronic plushies actually will go into the vents, and they will come to your office near the end of the night. And then he will also come to the office, but without his plushies this time. I'm very proud of this in particular because I thought that was something really... I'm really proud that I actually programmed this because it actually made use of his plushies in a meaningful way. As for Showtime Baby, her ability is hinted on night 4, where it's mentioned, why the fuck can she go camo? This is a fucking animatronic. And her AI is basically just hiding behind corners, waiting for the player to make the wrong step. So the reason she turns camouflage is to catch people off guard. And it's also because in Five Nights at Freddy's AR, the animatronics can turn invisible. That's what I base it off of. And also, when she goes behind your door, she disables her eye lights. And if she looks at you, her eyes will turn red, which is another cool detail. Not to mention, a lot of the animatronics do have different moving parts on them, like Funtime Bonnie, for example. He has the most moving parts on him, which I added for his faceplates, and he has his guitar on his back. Because I didn't want him to be carrying it, but I also didn't want it to be absent, so he puts it on his back. And Funtime Bonnie himself is a part of the whole entire merge with Fredbear's. This is another kind of sub-story that goes on in the background of the whole entire game. Because of the Chica's Party World Massacre in 1980, they weren't really able to get their image back, so they decided, okay, let's just merge with Fredbear's, and you'll notice if you watch the lore video. But you can see hints of this throughout the game, showing references to it, mentioning how they're having different guest characters at the Fredbear's restaurant. Like, for example, in one of the notes it mentions that that's why Spring Chica exists in Five Nights at Fredbear's too. And that's why Funtime Bonnie and Showtime Freddy exist. The phone guy mentions that Showtime Freddy is a guest character too.
Prototype character that is being tested at select locations. We call it a guest character, but it's really more of a test. He has multiple puppets of soon-to-be created characters on him. Now he will come to your door normally, but he will also throw his puppets in the vents to come after the birthday boy. So you may want to keep on. And
with many of his plushies on his back also being part of the whole guest character thing. The whole point of this is to show how things are changing, and you can see how things in a restaurant change with different characters like Funtime Bonnie appearing out of nowhere because they're going through a merger, they're having new characters and stuff like that, and name changes, and how it affects the plots of other games like Five Nights at Fredbear's 2 and stuff like that. Making references to other games, it makes it feel like it's all in a connected universe. To make it feel more alive too, I also had the staff members, when they make their notes, they have realistic reactions where they just don't know what's going on half of the time, or the fact that they mention the fact that night guards tend to go missing every night 6 because a certain animatronic disables the door. And most of the people who write these newsletters, they're different people with different motives. You have Snort Hogan, who writes, his letters about the Chica's Party World Summer Curse, with his newspapers being more honest. And then you have Gordon Stephen, who is pretty much doing things just to be as sensational as possible, which you can also see him in the minigame cutscenes too, talking to Afton. These little details go a long way of making it feel like this place is an actual place that people work at or, go to. Another thing I did too was make it so that each night the weather outside was different, where sometimes it's cloudy, sometimes it's just a clear sky, and the moon position changes. Even originally on night 6, I wanted it to be thundering and, raining, but I just couldn't get the lightning to work at the time, so I just kind of scrapped the idea. And being able to see some parts of the mini games where you see certain locations that are just recreated throughout the game, I think it adds a lot of, seeing the blast pit in the mini game and then seeing it in actual reality. But as you can see, I have put a lot of effort into the details with all the notes, all the small details of the animatronics, some of them having actual faceplates moving when they are idle and stuff like that. I wanted it to feel more alive. I wanted there to be detail, and I am skimming over some parts because just for the sake of time here, because there is a lot to go over that you can probably find in the game yourself. But I'm very happy that I went through the detail and the effort to do this, because I realized it goes a long way of helping the world feel more alive and feel more connected with the other games, and helping those who want to figure out the story for themselves. They can figure it out all in the game without the need to watch the story explain video. Yeah, so I'm gonna try and look at the if I missed any details, I'll look in the next video for them. And for the challenge night details video, and also show everyone the secret mini games now that it's been a week since the game launched, and kind of everyone's seen the ending at this point. So I think it's time to start revealing some secrets and see if people enjoy it. But the launch of this game has been successful, and I want to thank everyone for taking the time out of their day to watch these videos or whatever. This video, I know it's a little bit shorter than the last few videos, but it took the last 2 freaking hours to record this shit because I had to keep going through the nights to record all these different actions. So if you guys could like and subscribe, I'd be so happy. Just share the video around too, just so I can get the fucking views, because this shit was so hard to record. And it was even hard to even program in the first place, so there's that. I also have a Patreon too. I'm still trying to get it all set up right now, but you can go there if you want to try and drop a donation or something. But yeah, thank you for watching the video. I appreciate it. Goodbye. I'll see you in the next one.